Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, I got a super fun and exciting video for you guys today because we are taking a look at a decompilation and running on PC version of Xenogears. This is absolutely an amazing JRPG from the PlayStation 1 era that has a really fun kind of isometric 2D and 3D combination vibe going on. And if you didn't watch my video on Panzer Dragoon Saga running on PC, this is by the same developer Yazor. And just be aware this is a decompilation based project, but there is another decomp of Xenogears in progress as well that I've either already talked about on the channel or will be soon depending on when I've scheduled that video. Because I've got a lot of irons in the fire and I'm always juggling a lot of videos. I'm never quite sure when they are going to appear. But this footage here is from Yazor and he sent me a build as well. This is running on a PC, not on a Sega Saturn and not on DuckStation. And honestly, considering just how far the Xeno franchise has gone, getting Xenogears running on PC would absolutely be amazing. Before we get far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, you got a Patreon link down below as well. But a lot of what I loved about Xenogears is its 3D and 2D combination. You have the full ability to rotate the camera in any direction, and you can see here the main character is made of a sprite, where basically everything else in the world around him is going to be based on polygons. It was a very charming look back in the day, and it's one that I think still holds up today. But it's one of those things, getting this as a PC port 100% completed would absolutely be outstanding. So basically all of this is running on PC now, but if you go through the GitHub notes, and I will leave a link in the description below, you will see that it isn't 100% complete. And because Xenogears is such a long and complex game, it is not something that I would jump in, try to do the build on GitHub and play today, because more often than not, you're going to end up in a situation where the game freezes or crashes or just can't be continued. And this is an example of a work-in-progress PC port based upon a decomp that Yazor is doing, but it is one of those things. Just because you can play it doesn't mean it is ready for prime time. But a lot of what I love about these decomps, recomps, and PC ports is the fact that you can actually see the progress being made in real time and kind of play through iterative versions of builds to see how these things get done. Please let me comment down below and you tell me, do you like testing things that aren't complete, or do you more often than not like to wait until they're fully finished? Because I totally get it, that's why videos like this and my channel exist, to kind of give you guys an idea of what is coming in the future. And as far as what the future holds for something like a Xenogears PC port, we just really don't know because Yazor has to actually finish the work. So I don't want you to think this is something that's going to be done next week, next month, or even next year. It will be done when it's done, and maybe it'll never be done. All I know, Yazor is kind of motivated to get these things out into the world so more people can enjoy them. And like I've said in many previous videos, we really are in a golden era right now of retro gaming decomps, recomps, and PC ports. And I think in the next 10, 15, even 20 years, you're going to see massive chunks of libraries end up as PC ports. Because don't get me wrong, software emulation is incredible and I use it all the time because there's some of those best retro games to emulate out there that people love to play. Additionally, we have stuff like Mr. FPGA and all the different analog consoles, so we can actually play these games on FPGA cores as well. But getting these things over to PC would be a ton of fun, and I'd really be curious to see what sort of enhancements could come when they are on PC. But I will say, definitely a lot less warping polygons here, at least in my eye, than you would see in the PlayStation 1 version of the game. And it really is fun. This kind of feels like the next evolution of software emulation, where as opposed to emulating entire platforms, you're decompiling and then porting as a source port over to a new platform. And as far as if this is going to run on Linux or Mac, I have absolutely no idea, but that's one of the most common questions I get in the comments, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But honestly, this entire franchise from start to finish is just a straight up 10 out of 10 in my opinion. But Xenogears is one of my favorite games just based upon the art style, and that really is translating well over here, from the walls to the rugs to the character sprites. Even that parquet floor on the floor in and of itself looks exactly like I would expect it to, even if it isn't running on a PlayStation 1 or on something like DuckStation or the Mr. FPGA core. Well, let's jump into the first of two soundtrack samples so you can hear what the audio currently sounds like on something like the Xenogears PC port. I'll be right back with more. Now, interestingly, the audio you are hearing is actually being emulated based upon the description in the GitHub link down below as to how this is going to work, because this is not a matching decompilation, it is more a decompilation intended to be portable across multiple different PC instances, because not every single decomp that ends up as a PC port has to be 100% matching. There are more than one way to do these projects, and I totally understand. When you think about something like a decomp, you think of it being one static thing, but honestly you can decompile as much or as little and match as much or as little as you need to actually get these things working. It is just another way to skin a cat, for lack of a better term, and you know I love talking in euphemism on the channel while describing technical things. But it is going to be a different way to do things in the future, and I'm sure you're going to see these type of ports go hand in hand with the full 100% decompilation and match that becomes a PC port. You're even going to see the static recomps out there that don't need a decompilation in the first place. I totally get it gets a little bit confusing, because in the end result is that you're playing a game on PC that was never actually meant for PC, but how it's done under the hood can be completely different. But that kind of is the fun thing. You can decide how complex you want to get with an explanation. You can just pretend it's magic and go from there. And you will see here in footage that Yazor sent over, being able to actually use the executable to jump around in the game and basically get past progression blocks, because this is not going to be something that you can 100% play from start to finish today without using that debug menu to kind of jump around. But that's going to be fun that this is even in the first place in the PC port, because when it is finished, it's still something you can play around with and kind of decide exactly how you want to have an experience. Because sometimes you just want to skip to your favorite part of a game, start playing it, and go from there. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me what you think about Xenogears in the first place, and if you could snap your fingers and make one PlayStation 1 game show up as a PC port instantaneously, which one would it be? For me, I know that they're almost at 100% at least of recording this, and might be there already by the time you watch it. I want to see Silent Hill get a full PC port with a ton of enhancements, because even though Konami is remaking that game right now, I'm sure it'll be a different vibe compared to what you get on PlayStation 1. And that really is important, because a lot of what we love about these retro games are the vibes they deliver, and when they get remakes or remastered on modern consoles, there's changes in the text, there's changes in the graphics, so it is both the same game that you remember from back in the day, but also changed enough that it doesn't feel like that same game whatsoever. Because we see that a lot in overall remakes today, where they kind of change the vibes just enough so it kind of feels more like for a modern audience than for somebody who grew up loving this game. And that really is the thing. I grew up loving JRPGs on the PlayStation 1. I had a copy of Xenogears, and I still have one in my closet right now in my collection. It's one of those things I like to replay it once every 5 years or so. Let's go into the second of two soundtrack samples, again with emulated audio, but you can hear how it sounds in the overall port here. But short of that, definitely stay tuned, because I got a little bit more to tell you after the video. But enjoy the audio because it's good, and I'll be right back. It definitely sound like Xenogears to me, and the good thing about projects like this and every other static recomp, PC port, and decompilation we see on the PlayStation 1 and every other platform is that this is all learned knowledge with an open source code base, so stuff like this can end up making a lot more recomps, PC ports, and decomps in the future. Because that is really how this is all going to work moving forward. It's going to be a snowball effect, and suddenly you're going to go from 1 game to 10 games to 50 games probably in the next 18 to 24 months. And that is kind of the thing. When I started talking about these projects on the channel, I might talk about one a week or one every couple weeks. Now it seems like I have to even kind of prioritize when I schedule things, because I have more content than I have days to run it, and that definitely is a good problem to have. We have an overabundance right now of decomps, recomps, and PC ports, and we are all the luckier for that. So between Yazor's port of Xenogears, which you're watching now, and the Panzer Dragoon Saga work-in-progress port that he is working on, it is going to be a very bright future for a lot of retro gaming fans, and I absolutely love that. But we're done. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.